So then, we are back with the modern understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services are refined in the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage. So then we can understand the time of the end, the period Shiahu the prophet. We find in the layer of understanding of the 61st chapter related with the time of the restoration, and then the Gentiles included in his holy plan. However, the Gentiles are always related with the trade. It's related with the trade because the first son of Ibrahim, Ishmael, was a tradesperson. So let's understand where we are coming then, understanding the time of the end and the trade nearly. So then people can start investing properly their money, their investments, then becoming more and more profitable. Prior of these, we understand then China is the leader of the new system and is already starting via the BRICS. However, for the system to become healthier, then nations obviously must start investigating their politicians, because the new system requires obviously at least the government's backlogs updated, so then the monstrosity of the government does not destroy the economy. As we understand, many nations are coming out of poverty, and they obviously became very acquainted with the IMF reports. For instance, in Brazil was very popular back in the 90s. Politicians was then, they were the absolutely scoundrels and the scum of the entire country. It had taken a lot of courage for many people to become more aware of than the plague that the politicians were. After many years of diligent cleaning up of the government, then Brazil has paid away their debts and they are part of the BRICS. And the BRICS is then becoming the new trade system, liking it or not. Then we find, unfortunately, the United States absolutely, in quote, sunk with incompetent politicians, scoundrels of the worst kind, whereas then people always afraid to talk bad of the government, and the government itself, it's absolutely scoundrelized, and there are areas, for instance, of stealing of the people's money via the Ozarks project. If FBI or CIA or then the police would investigate Mr. Steve from Overwatch systems, they would find the government's money flowing through this system and making up the construction of these Ozarks. It's quite incredible how deceitful our government has become. Amazing, worse than ever. The situation is the politicians are polite, yet they are absolutely scoundrels openly. People, they have a certain form of piety when they are related with trade. However, the government is so scoundrel, and they do what is wrong, yet with a polite face. So then, it is truly incredible, FBI, CIA, and the police not investigating the government's dealings, because they are part of it. They are part of the monstrosity as a whole. That's why the country is going down and down and down, and our time is very short, 36 months to get a taxation up to date. However, the police are chicken. They are absolutely scoundrels as the governments are. And most particularly, then we find, unfortunately, U.S. then involved in provoking countries even further, as they have provoked South Korea, North Korea. Now they are enticing Japan, printing out more money, and they got Australia involved. It is tremendous, the absolutely incapability and lack of competence, the incompetence of our police force. They have no courage. FBI has no courage of investigating Overwatch systems and their banking. And our president runs around as a boy with credit card with no limit. And the people are watching the investments, the 12 digits people already dumping US stocks, and nobody has the courage to say a word. Incredible. And we think we are going to become part of the BRICS at some point. Absolutely not. We don't have the credibility anymore. Because not only the politicians are the scoundrels, then they are polite being scoundrels. And the people have no courage to come against them. And it's never easy. Because FBI as a whole, they should be investigating the dealings of the government. But since FBI is paid by the government, when the government becomes absolutely a monstrosity, as President Jackson many years ago pointed out, making sure that the government does not become then so big and then in control. Precisely the times that we are living in. So it's going to take some very strong people from the police force if they are worth something. Because our economy won't last for very long. And these authority crap from government and military and police, it doesn't compare with our economy. Our economy is much more important than they're walking around as big shots. So until somebody pounds on the desk and puts an end and investigate those people, those politicians, then our economy won't improve. And then investors are then dumping even further US stocks. So we must make a decision as a country and do what other countries are doing, leaning up and straighten out their governments, so then their economy can improve. So please stay tuned, much more coming up.